So today we're gonna be talking about emotional regulation because let's be honest, emotions are part of our everyday lives. And sometimes it can feel, managing our emotions can feel really hard. And that's where this conversation becomes important. So let's start by talking about emotional dysregulation. And that happens when we struggle to manage strong feelings in a ways that feels balanced or unhelpful. It can look different for different people. Maybe it's feeling easily overwhelmed, or maybe it's having big emotional reactions, or maybe it's finding it hard to calm down once you are upset. Sometimes it can show up as anger outbursts, anxiety spirals, shutting down, or even using unhealthy coping mechanisms to escape our feelings. Emotional regulation, on the other way, is all about how we notice, how you understand, hold space, and manage our feelings. And it's important to say, regulating our emotions doesn't mean that we are ignoring them or you are pretending to be okay when we are not. It's all about creating a space to feel and hold space for them, while we're also finding ways to respond and to express our feelings in a way that feels supportive to us. And here's the thing, emotional dysregulation can affect anyone. It's very common in times of stress, burnout, or difficult life experiences. And sometimes we all have these moments in which our emotions can feel too much. So if you ever felt swept up by your emotions, or you feel like they've taken over, you are definitely not alone. The good news is that emotional regulation is a skill. And with practice, we can all find ways to hold space for our feelings and respond in a way that feels supportive for our well-being.
Hey Flavia, so I was wondering if you have a visual that can help us understand when we are maybe getting into the dysregulated area.
Oh yeah, there's a video about it, and I'll pass it on to our amazing Jess because he's the expert on it.
Okay.
Yes, I would be happy to talk. There's a visual called the window of tolerance. And sometimes the most effective way and the best way to learn about the window of tolerance for emotional regulation, how about we do a role play? So I will be the counselor and I'm working with the client and trying to explain emotional regulation and the window of tolerance.
And I'm the client.
Okay, welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing okay, Jess.
Yeah. Are you struggling with some emotions?
Yeah, I think so. I am a little bit low today.
Below, okay. Well, emotional regulation, can sometimes be a struggle, but let's talk a little bit about the window of tolerance. Can I explain to you what the window of
Yeah, I
tolerance?
want to know what that is.
Have you ever heard of the window of tolerance?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Maybe, yeah, okay. So I'd like you to, this is a good, helpful concept for understanding emotional regulation. It is a metaphor that we use. So imagine a thermostat. You can turn it on and off, right? You can control the hot and the cold, right? Imagine that it represents a range, a comfortable range where something's not too hot or too cold, right? So that's the window of tolerance. It represents a window, right? And the range of emotions that can happen in that window in everyday life.
Okay.
So when you're thinking of the thermostat, when you're within your window, right, you feel calm, alert, able to think clearly, and maybe even react appropriately to life's challenges.
It's when that means I am comfortable.
Yes, I'm in the window. The thermostat feels not too hot, not too cold. But then sometimes something happens and I feel like the thermostat is turned on too high.
Yeah,
We call that the hyper arousal.
I see.
Okay, This is when something pushes us outside our window, on the high side. It's like the thermostat is overheating. We're feeling overheating. You might feel anxious, overwhelmed, maybe a little agitated, maybe even panicky. So this gives us a bit more, we're more alert, right? And we're maybe having these racing thoughts. What do I do? How do I do this? What's going on?
It's
Right?
like this fight or flight.
Yeah, I want to fight, right? Maybe I'm going to react impulsively, right? The hyperarousal, as you said, I'm so glad you said it. It's either I'm in the fight, I want to fight, right? Or I want to run away, panic, right? And that's when the thermostat is too high. Then you're outside the window.
And I will imagine is when I am, for example, very upset, angry, those emotions.
Yeah, when I'm upset, I could be agitated, I could be angry,
Okay,
right? There's a little more charge to that energy.
makes sense.
Then in life, sometimes the thermostat gets too low. And this is when something is pushed outside the window on the low side. It's like the thermostat is too cold.
And that's like the freeze response.
It is.
It's too cold.
Yeah, I feel numb. I feel disconnected. I feel withdrawn. I want to withdraw. Maybe this is where depression is, right? And I may be a little detached from myself. I can't connect with what's happening, right? So this is known as a hypoarousal. It's the freeze response, where your body shuts down in response, okay? So it's important to understand that everyone, your window, my window is different. And it can be dependent on the situation and maybe our past history.
I see.
Some people can handle the thermostat a little higher and some people a little lower. So when you're feeling at times overwhelmed and it's too high or too low, right? That's when we say we're outside our window of tolerance.
Either or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
And our goal is not to eliminate those feelings, but it's to regulate it so we can bring the thermostat just right. And hopefully today we can do a couple of strategies to bring ourselves back into the window.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jazz. Makes sense. Thank you. So, hey, Flavia, I will tell you like one of the best ways to stay within our window of tolerance is through mindfulness or using mindfulness. Do you know what mindfulness is?
Is it like when I'm not thinking about anything?
Not really.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually kind of the opposite. So, mindfulness in short is being aware.
Okay.
So, it's being attention to what is happening in the present moment.
Okay.
For example, is what is happening in your mind, what is happening in your body, and what is happening around.
Okay.
And very important is with kindness, with curiosity, and with compassion. So I will invite you to maybe give yourself 1 minute just to slow way down, and notice how are you feeling right now. Thank you. You can close your eyes as you did, or you can also lower your gaze and take 1 minute to connect with your internal experience. Maybe what thoughts come to mind. Just pay attention to what do you notice in your body. What physical sensations do you notice? What emotions show up? And notice you are breathing. When you are ready, you can open your eyes and you can also notice what is happening around you. And when you do this, a good tip is to engage your senses. So things you can see, maybe sounds you can hear, smells. Do you have any taste there? Maybe your morning coffee. Things you can touch and sense with your physical body. Yeah. So that's what mindfulness is. Well, one of the mindfulness techniques is breathing. It's just doing some breathing. So I will teach you today my favorite breathing technique that is called the belly breathing, or it's also the diaphragmatic breathing. So this is one of the greatest tools we have. It helps us to relax the nervous system, reduces stress and tension, and calms our mind. It's very good to use it also if you are having trouble falling asleep. It's very good to do it at night. You can do it sitting, or you can do it like while lying down before going to bed. So first, we can use one of those little things that you can just open it. Just to imagine, I will teach you how.
Okay.
Another way for everybody to do is you start by also putting one hand on your chest, the other hand on your belly.
Okay.
Just as a way, as a visual way to see what is gonna happen. So first, please find a comfortable position there on your chair that will help you relax. Again, you can close your eyes or you can lower your gaze if that feels okay. You can also put your feet on the ground and turn all your attention out of your head and just focus on the soles of your feet, sensing the ground underneath. Just bring the full weight of yourself into your body. Become aware and sense yourself on the chair. And then, now, something that happens is that we usually breathe with your chest. So it's very fast. So it's like, in this case, we try to breathe into what feels like the bottom of our belly. So very deep breaths. So you can use this guy and you will open it when you inhale and you can close it when you exhale. And for all of us, the other option is one hand on the chest, one hand on the body. So when we inhale, we will feel how our belly comes out as much as we can, as if we were inflating a balloon. And then when we exhale, we will feel how the belly comes in, the chest doesn't move. And then we will also, when we exhale, we will do it with pursed lips, and we will imagine we are trying to make a hot bowl of soup cold. So let's just do it. So we inhale slowly through our nose. Feel the belly come out, how it comes out. Hold it for just a second, and slowly exhale through pursed lips, as if we were blowing on a hot bowl of soup. Once more. Just once more. You can tune into your body as you exhale, so you can tailor the speed to what feels most relaxing inside. It usually takes about twice as long to exhale as the
So part of emotional regulation, there's a therapy that has shown to show quite effectiveness, and it's Marsha's DBT. DBT stands for Dialectical Behavior Therapy. It's a type of talk therapy that helps individuals learn to manage intense emotions, improve relationships, and develop healthy coping skills. So it's a skills-based group as well. DBT is particularly effective for individuals struggling with that emotional regulation, difficulties, and it can also help with some other mental health conditions. So a core DBT skill, when it comes to distress tolerance or emotional regulation, this is when we're outside our window of tolerance, is something called the TIP scale. The T in TIP is change the temperature, the I is intense exercise, the P stands for paced breathing, and the other P is for paced muscle relaxation. We're going to do today, we're going to talk about one of the T, which is change the temperature. So a good one that we do is, it's called the dive cold water plunge. We've all done that, gone into a bathtub with cold water or taken a cold shower. Well, submerging yourself in cold water is like taking the cold shower or even ice baths. It's a tool for emotional regulation by triggering what's called the dive response. It's a response, a reflex that can help calm the nervous system. Now that may sound funny. I'm agitated, I'm out of the window of tolerance, but because the water, the head has gone into the water, the brain no longer has to think about a flight, it's trying to stay focused and alive. And so this also releases some other chemicals and neurotransmitters in the body, and it can help with mood and stress resilience. So how the dive response works is you take a big water bucket of ice cold water and you dive right in, head in for 30 seconds. And that will trigger a calming effect after the 30 seconds. So keep in mind, we're at work and we're feeling emotion dysregulation. The last thing you want to tell work, hold on a second, let me get a cold bucket of water. Doesn't sound pretty doable, right? So there are things that you can do. One of them is go into the fridge and grab some ice and chew on some ice. Put your hand in the water. So those are practical things that you can do. And in the morning, maybe take a cold shower if I'm feeling a little bit off. So we're going to demonstrate the dive response with the plunging of the cold in a tub.
Okay. So another activity that we can do to support us in reducing the stress or the overall stress, for example, is working with our locus of control, which I'm gonna exemplify here in a minute. So the locus of control is an activity that can help us understand what is within our control and what are the things that are outside of our control, and that can help us guide our energy towards what are the things that we can actually influence. So for example, let's suppose that I have a big important presentation to do at work and I'm feeling super anxious about it. And maybe I am spiraling and thinking about that before I go to sleep, and I don't really sleep very well. And then I can maybe do this activity to understand how I can support myself and how I can guide my energy. So to start with, I'm just gonna draw a circle, and I'm gonna ask Jazz and Paulina to help me out here. So everything that is inside my control, we're gonna write inside the circle, because that's close to me, it's within my bubble. And everything that's outside my control, we're gonna write outside the circle. So just remembering, we are gonna be thinking about what are the things that I can do to support myself with the anxiety that I'm feeling about this presentation. So one thing that's coming up for me, like one thing that I can do is that I can do my research. And I can also prepare my slides, for example. And maybe I can just support myself in getting a good night of sleep. And I can also make sure that I'm eating in an appropriate time. And can make sure that I'm gonna be there on time. But I can't control the traffic, right? So gonna write traffic outside.
Okay, maybe this is not the best.
Yeah.
But maybe what could be a way that I could make sure to beat the traffic? Do you have any ideas?
I could leave home earlier.
Okay, then my usual time?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I can leave home earlier. Okay. And maybe another thing that I don't have much influence is gonna be my co-workers' reactions to my presentation. And maybe one thing that I can offer myself about it is being kind and graceful towards myself.
What if I force my co-workers to be kind?
How?
Is that in here or out there?
Oh, forcing them?
Yeah, forcing them.
Oh, I think that's outside, right?
Because I can't control their emotions.
No, I cannot.
I can't force people to feel something.
No, I can't. And I can't change people's feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I could, but I guess, yeah, you're right, I can't.
Mm. And also, I don't think I can at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can be curious about their reactions. Like if they're having a strong reaction, I can ask questions to clarify what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Or I can pay them each $5 each to be happy. That'd be expensive.
Oh yeah, if I'm doing a presentation for 50 people, can you
Yeah,
imagine that?
okay, maybe I shouldn't pay them.
Yeah, I don't think that would be realistic. So I can be curious about their questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable with your coworkers, will it be okay to say, "Hey, I'm nervous"?
I can express myself. Yeah. Ooh, and do you think that maybe I could request constructive feedback? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just about the idea. Can I control the professor's grade of my presentation? Where would that be?
I think that maybe can be half and half. Like, I don't think I can control what grade they're gonna give me, but if it's a grade that maybe I don't agree with, I could ask them about what happened and ask for feedback.
Ah, yeah. So I can't control his grade, but I can
Ask for
ask
clarification.
for clarification.
And also, you can control doing your best.
Yeah.
Being
That's
kind,
and that's it.
but doing your best.
Oh, this was so helpful. Thanks for thinking about it with me.
I feel more powerful of what I can do.
Yeah, I'm empowered.
We're going to do this exercise for 30 seconds, and it's important to remember that it takes only 90 seconds to come back into our window of tolerance. Before we do this exercise, it is important to keep a few things in mind. One is to consult with a healthcare professional if you have any underlying health conditions, for example, heart problems. it is important to consult with a doctor before engaging in cold water immersion. And another thing is to start gradually, so just don't go right away. And also, when engaging in cold water swimming or in cold water plunging, it's important to have supervision if needed. So let's just do it. So it will take 30 seconds, we'll be timing it. So submerge your face in a bowl of cold water for 30 seconds, or even just splash cold water on your face. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. You made it, Jess. Wow.